Thor Love and Thunder features two post-credit scenes, and in this video we're going to be talking about that first post-credit scene. So of course, if you haven't seen the movie yet, I have to issue a huge spoiler warning. We're talking full spoilers for the movie and the post-credit scene. If you have seen the movie, check out my spoiler review. If you haven't, check out my non-spoiler review. Or just watch them all, that's good too. I'm not complaining. But today, like I said, we are talking about that first post-credit scene, which follows up after our storyline with Zeus in the movie. Because, of course, we have Thor and kind of our new version of the Avengers in this film visiting Omnipotent City. And they visit Zeus and they want his help. And he is just super arrogant and he's not taking it. And so he gets kind of a little annoyed and he throws his thunderbolt through Korg. We think Korg's dead. Thor thinks he's dead. I was super upset at this point. Of course, we know Korg is fine. But then this really upsets Thor. So Thor grabs that thunderbolt, throws it up, stabs it through Zeus, and we think Zeus is dead. But this first post-credit scene reveals that no, Zeus is indeed alive because, he's a god. So, he's somehow alive. And he has this whole big speech here at the end of how did gods turn into a joke? People used to look up to us and all this stuff. And now that stupid Thor, Odin's son, we need to watch him fall from the sky. And then he's like, do you understand me, Hercules? And that is when we get the big reveal and the official introduction of Brett Goldstein as the MCU's version of Hercules, of course, setting him up to be a villain in Thor 5. Now, Brett Goldstein, you probably recognize from Ted Lasso. That's probably his big role at the moment. And I haven't watched Ted Lasso. I wish I had Apple TV Plus, whatever it's called, so I could watch it because I've heard it's really, really good. And now we have this actor in the MCU as Hercules, and I think he really looks. He looks like Hercules. You can tell he really packed on some muscle. I'm not sure if part of that was CGI or whatever, but he got the super comics accurate outfit, the super hairy chest, the headpiece, even his club thingy. I don't know the official name for it, but I know that in the comics that thing is as strong as Mjolnir. So that's definitely going to be really cool. And to see that now we're going to be getting Thor versus Hercules in Thor 5. And this is something that, in the comics, Thor and Hercules have fought before. That's how Hercules was originally introduced to Marvel Comics. He was fighting Thor, but eventually they become friends, they become buddies, they team up, all that stuff. So I feel like it's going to be kind of maybe a Batman v Superman thing, or even Godzilla versus Kong type thing, where maybe the film will be pitched as, hey, it's Thor versus Hercules. Maybe the film will even be called Thor versus Hercules. But then they fight a little bit, and then they end up teaming up to fight the bigger bad guy, which may be Zeus. Maybe it's going to be Thor convinces Hercules of the truth of hey, your father's a really bad dude. We need to go take him down, or possibly even another Greek god, maybe Ares, another great Marvel villain, a huge villain of Hercules and Thor in the comics. Of course, the god of war. He was the villain in the first Wonder Woman movie, so why not bring him on over here? And I think that'd be pretty cool. This just gets me really excited for Thor 5 because Hercules is such a cool character that is the perfect place to introduce him, and I'm glad that he's coming to the MCU because again, he's a great character. He's been a classic Marvel character. He was introduced back in the 60s again in a Thor comic. Well, it was Journey into Mystery, but still, this character I grew up watching in multiple cartoons, and now he's in the MCU. It's just awesome. And even aside from Thor, he can have a huge future in other MCU projects as well. He's had some huge connections in the comics to characters like the Hulk and the Thing from the Fantastic Four, mainly fighting both of them, but of course also teaming up with them. But speaking of Hulk, we also have Hercules and She-Hulk. So they had some run-ins in the past and actually had a romance. And well, actually, I'm not sure how much of it was romance and really pretty much just hooking up, which there was a lot of that. And wow, maybe we'll see that. Kind of doubt it, but you never know. We do have that She-Hulk Disney Plus series coming next month, actually. So I'd love to see in a possible season 2 Hercules show up. There was a storyline in the comics where Hercules is getting sued for property damage and stuff just because he's super clumsy and he's super strong and stuff. So he goes to Earth and he just caused a bunch of property damage and they sue him for it. So I think that'd be a really cool storyline to actually explore in the MCU, is this super powerful Greek god now has to deal with the puny human thing of getting sued. I think that'd be really funny. And yeah, just Hercules coming to the MCU. Brett Goldstein in the role. I've heard he's an amazing actor from that show. He looks the part. Hercules for Thor 5, Thor versus Hercules, Zeus coming back in here. Wasn't expecting him to be alive, but I think this is going to be really cool. I'm really excited for it. But guys, what do you think about the introduction of Hercules to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and specifically the casting of Brett Goldstein as our MCU Hercules? So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Please drop a like if you enjoyed this video and hit the subscribe button so I can keep up to date on everything goes